Now let us see the different types of representation of a tree. That is binary tree representation. How the binary tree can be represented. So there are two types in which the binary tree can be represented. The first one is array representation. So we have already studied about one-dimensional array. So one-dimensional array indexing will start from 0 and it will go up to maximum n minus 1. So in this array representation, what happens? Root node comes first. That means the root node will occupy the first index value 0. Then the remaining nodes will come. The remaining nodes will occupy the next possible index values. The remaining nodes will occupy the next possible index values. So what are the rules? What are the rules for array representation? For array representation of a binary tree, the root node is stored at the first position in the array, while its left and right child nodes are stored in the successive positions. So we'll use an array to store the root first, then the remaining children will be stored in the array. So for the general formula for this, if a node is stored at any given index I, then its left child will be always stored at 2i plus 1 and its right child will be always at 2i plus 2. That is a fixed formula. If root is at I, then left child will be at always 2i plus 1 and right child will be always at 2i plus 2. So that is a fixed entity what we are supposed to know. That is a fixed entity what we are supposed to know. That is a fixed formula. This applies for each and every subtree. This applies for each and every subtree. So for example, this is the given tree. A, B, C, D, E, F, G are the nodes present in this tree, and it is having two levels. Now we have to represent the nodes in this. We have to represent this tree by using array representation. The same tree, this is the same tree which has been now labeled with the index values which will be used for array representation. So these are the possible index values. That is as per this formula. I, 2i plus 1 and 2i plus 2. That means the root node will be always at index I, left child will be always at 2i plus 1, right child will be always at 2i plus 2. In other words, generally whatever the tree could be, you go on labeling all the nodes from left to right, from top to bottom. That will be simple technique. That means you should go on labeling all the nodes from top to bottom and from left to right. That means this becomes label this with 0, then this with 1, 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a simple technique without applying this formula also. But this formula will be useful only when some of the subtrees are missing. So this is how we have labeled the nodes in a binary tree in case of array representation. So root node comes first, then left subtree of A will be at 2i plus 1. So what is I? I is 0. 2i plus 1 is 1. So 2 into 0 plus 1 is how much? 1. That means the left child of A will occupy the index 1. Similarly, right child of A will occupy the index 2. So substituting in this formula, 2 into I is what? I is 0. 2 into 0 plus 2 is how much? 2. That means if A is at index I, then right child of A, C, it will be at index 2i plus 2. What is 2i plus 2? 2i plus 2 is 2. That is very simple formula to obtain any of the index values for any of the nodes in a binary tree. Now let us calculate the index for this particular subtree D. So for B is, if B becomes root for this D and E, then B is located at index 1. So what is left child of B? To calculate left child of B, what is the formula? 2 into I plus 1. So where B is located? B is located in index 1. 2 into 1 plus 1 is what? That is 3. What is the index position for 3? This is already calculated here. Index position for D is 3. Similarly, what will be index position for E? This is index position for E. What is index position for E? 2I plus 2. So I is 1. 2 into 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is what? 4. So this is the possible index position for E. So that is the general formula. So simple other technique is go on labeling all the nodes from top to bottom and left to right. So now same indexing is being used here. So this tree is being represented like this in the array representation. So these are the index values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. These are the given index values. Now, as you can see, based on these labels, whatever we have obtained, the nodes are occupying those corresponding positions in the array. So root element A is occupying the 0th index, then D is occupying the 3rd index. See, the index calculated index for D is 3. So it is occupying 3rd index. Calculated index for G is what? 6. So G is occupying the index 6. So that is a simple strategy which we use for representation of tree in the array representation format. Now if we consider some other example, some other tree. So let us take this tree and those indexes have been calculated for the array. Indexes have been calculated for the array. So B is not having right child and C is not having left child. So those locations are left empty here. Now if we follow our convention, that is directly labeling all the nodes from left to right, that is label root node from 0, then left child of A 1, right child of A 2, then go on labeling all the nodes, that is left child of B is 3, left child right child of B is 4, left child of C is 5, right child of C is 6. This is what we have labeled. But after labeling this, we know that these two nodes are not existing, left child and right child. Here, for example, right child of B should be occupying 4th index. Left child of C should occupy 5th index. But those elements are not there. Those nodes are not there. What we'll do? We'll simply ignore those index values. Those index values will be left blank in the array representation. We're not going to write anything there. So they will be left blank. So as you can see here is 4th and 5th index are left blank in the array representation. 4th and 5th index, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 4th index value and 5th index value, they are left blank in the array representation. Right? So this is why they are left blank, because this subtree is missing. Right subtree of B is missing, left subtree of C is missing. So whichever subtree is missing, we'll just leave that field blank. We'll just leave that field blank in the array representation. Now coming to other type of representation, linked representation of binary tree. So linked representation, why actually we have to go for linked representation? So some of the disadvantages present in the array representation can be overcome. Disadvantages. So what were the disadvantages in the array representation? In the array representation, even though the element is not present, the memory will be unnecessarily wasted. Say for example, in this notation, the 4th index and 5th index are blank because there are no subtrees. But even though they are blank, they are occupying some memory. They are occupying the memory here. They are occupying the memory. So that is the disadvantage in the array representation of binary tree. So in linked representation, as usual, we use the linked list for representing nodes of a binary tree. So how do we represent? Each node in a binary tree is represented with the help of a linked list, and every node is going to consist of 3 fields. As you know, the information field, left field and the right field. So these are the things what we use to represent each and every node. Because what we know here is Every node in a binary tree will be something like this. It will consist of 3 fields. The center field is information field. The leftmost field, it is a pointer to the left subtree, and rightmost field is a pointer to the right subtree. Pointer to the left subtree and pointer to the right subtree. So where info is going to contain the actual data value of the tree, left is going to store the left pointer, that is pointer to the left subtree of the tree. Right is going to contain pointer to the right subtree of the tree. This is what is one simple representation of the tree using linked list representation. Say for example, for the same given tree, I'll first write its corresponding tree here. This is A, B, and C. Then we have here D, E, F, G, right? So this is the given tree and this is the corresponding representation by using linked representation. Here we use always one special type of pointer called root, which will always point to the root node of the entire tree. So for this entire tree, A is the root node. For this entire given tree, A is the root node and the special pointer root is pointing to the root node. And every node consists of 3 fields. So what are the 3 fields? Information field, right field, and the left field. So these are the fundamental fields. At least 3 fields will be there in the node. Information field will contain the actual data, that is A, whereas left field will contain pointer to the left subtree. It will extend the tree towards left. Right will contain pointer to the right subtree. It will extend the tree towards right. And same is repeated. Similarly for B, if you want to represent this node B in the linked form, node in the in terms of linked list, it is having B as the root node, then pointer, left pointer pointing to the left subtree, then this is the right pointer which is pointing to the right subtree. Similarly for node D, it is not having any of the left subtree, so it is containing null value. Right subtree, it is not there, so it is going to contain null value. Similarly for E, left and right subtrees are null. For F, left and right subtrees are null. For G also, left and right subtrees are null. They are going to contain null values because they are not having any children. So this is a simple strategy in which we represent the tree by using linked representation. So what we have seen is representation of a tree in 2 ways, in array representation as well as by using the linked list.